Hi everyone, and welcome back to Sally Lessons. Today we are going to talk about a very special moment in a child's life, the first day of school. For many children, this day can feel exciting, strange, scary, and wonderful all at the same time. Imagine waking up early, putting on new clothes, carrying a backpack, and walking into a place you have never been before. There may be new teachers, new classmates, new rules, and a completely different routine. Some children cannot wait to get there because they are excited to make friends and learn new things. Others may feel nervous and want to stay close to their parents for a little longer. Both reactions are completely normal. The first day of school is not only about entering a classroom. It is also about experiencing a new environment and taking a small step toward becoming more independent. Children may not always have the words to explain everything they are feeling, so their emotions can appear in different ways. One child might talk nonstop about school, while another might become quiet or clingy. Some children may cry when their parents leave, even if they were excited a few minutes earlier. This does not necessarily mean they dislike school. It can simply mean that the moment of separation feels difficult. Today, we will explore what children often experience on this important day, from the morning at home to the moment they finally return home. We will also talk about the little things that can make the experience easier and more positive. Before the first day even begins, children may already have many thoughts in their minds. They might wonder what their teacher will be like, where they will sit, who they will play with, or whether they will know what to do. Older children may worry about fitting in, while younger children may simply wonder where their parents will be. Sometimes adults forget how big these questions can feel to a child. A school building may seem completely ordinary to an adult, but to a child it can feel like a huge new world. That is why preparation can make such a difference. Parents can talk about school in a positive but realistic way and explain what the child can expect. They can practice simple routines such as getting dressed, putting on shoes, carrying a backpack, and saying goodbye. It can also help to visit the school before the first day, if possible, so the building does not feel completely unfamiliar. Looking at the classroom, playground, or entrance can make the first morning feel less mysterious. Reading books about starting school can also give children an idea of what other kids experience. At the same time, it is important not to promise that everything will be perfect. Saying, "You will have the best day ever," can sometimes make a nervous child feel worse if the day becomes difficult. A more helpful message is, "You might feel a little nervous, and that is okay. You can take your time, ask for help, and I will be here when school is over." Simple words like these can give children a sense of safety while allowing them to have their own feelings. The morning of the first day can be full of mixed emotions. Some children wake up before the alarm because they are so excited, while others suddenly say they do not want to go. A child who seemed ready the night before may become worried when the moment finally arrives. This can happen because the idea of school is easier to handle than the reality of leaving home. Parents may notice small changes such as a child becoming unusually quiet, complaining about a stomachache, or asking the same questions again and again. Instead of immediately saying, "There is nothing to be afraid of," it can be more helpful to recognize the feeling. A parent might say, "I can see that you are nervous." Starting something new can feel strange, but you are not alone. This kind of response teaches children that their emotions are not something they need to hide. A calm morning routine can also help. Having breakfast, getting dressed, checking the backpack, and leaving with enough time can prevent unnecessary stress. If possible, children can choose a small part of the routine, such as which shirt to wear or which snack to take. Little choices can give them a feeling of control. When families rush, everyone can become more anxious, so leaving a few extra minutes can make the morning calmer. And then comes the goodbye. This may be one of the hardest moments of the day. Some children wave confidently, while others cry or hold on tightly. A short, loving goodbye is often easier than a long one filled with uncertainty. Children need to know that their parents are leaving, but also that they will come back. Once children enter the classroom, a whole new experience begins. They may see many faces, hear unfamiliar voices, and notice objects they have never seen before. The teacher might introduce classroom rules, explain where things belong, and show students how the day will work. For a young child, remembering all of this information can be difficult, especially when they are also dealing with new emotions. They may not understand every instruction immediately, and that is completely normal. Some children will quickly start talking to classmates, while others will watch quietly before joining in. There is no single correct way to experience the first day. Children have different personalities, and they also have different ways of becoming comfortable in new situations. A shy child may need more time before speaking, while a very social child may make a friend within minutes. Teachers often understand these differences and help children feel included through simple activities, games, introductions, and routines. The first day may also involve small challenges that adults might not think about. A child may not know where to put their backpack, how to ask to use the bathroom, or what to do when they need help. These moments can feel embarrassing or confusing. That is why learning to ask questions is such an important part of school. Children can practice simple phrases like, "Can you help me?" or "Where should I put this?" School is not only a place where children learn academic subjects. It is also a place where they learn communication, independence, cooperation, patience, and how to solve small problems on their own. Another important part of the first day is making friends. For some children, this happens naturally. They may sit next to someone, start talking, share a toy, or discover that they like the same game. For others, making friends can take much longer. A child might spend the first day playing alone or watching other children from a distance. That does not mean something is wrong. Friendships often develop gradually, especially when children are meeting many new people at once. It can be helpful for adults to avoid putting too much pressure on a child by asking, "Did you make a best friend today?" Instead, they can ask open questions such as, "What was something interesting you did?" or "Who did you talk to?" These questions give children more freedom to describe their day. Children may also experience moments of frustration or disappointment. Maybe someone did not want to play with them, they made a mistake, or they did not understand a game. These small experiences can feel very important when you are young. Parents can listen without immediately trying to solve every problem. Sometimes a child simply needs someone to say, "That sounds difficult. I understand why you felt sad." This teaches them that problems can be talked about instead of hidden. Over time, children learn that not every interaction will go perfectly, and that is part of growing up. They can try again, meet someone new, or ask an adult for help. The first day does not have to produce a perfect friendship or a perfect experience. It is simply the beginning of a much longer journey of learning how to connect with other people. After several hours of new experiences, children may feel completely exhausted when they finally return home. Even if they say it was fine, their minds may have processed a huge amount of information. They had to listen, follow instructions, remember names, understand routines, and deal with unfamiliar emotions. Some children will come home excited and tell their families every little detail. Others may become quiet, irritable, or unusually tired. Again, these reactions can be completely normal. Home can feel like a safe place where children finally relax after spending hours trying to understand a new environment. The way adults respond at this moment can make a big difference. Instead of asking a long list of questions as soon as the child walks through the door, it may be better to give them some time to rest, eat, drink water, or play quietly. Later, a simple question can open the conversation. Parents might ask, What was your favorite part of today? Or was there anything that felt difficult? If the child wants to talk, listening carefully can help them process the experience. If they do not want to talk, that is okay too. Sometimes children need a little time before they can explain what happened. It is also important to remember that the first day is only one day. A child may love school immediately, or they may need several days or weeks to feel comfortable. Both experiences are possible. What matters most is creating a sense of support and reminding children that they do not have to figure everything out at once. Every morning is another chance to learn the routine, recognize familiar faces, and feel a little more confident. The first day of school can also teach children something very important about independence. For perhaps the first time, they may spend several hours away from their family while making small decisions on their own. They have to listen to instructions, organize their things, communicate their needs, and sometimes solve simple problems without a parent standing beside them. This can feel difficult, but it can also be empowering. Every small success can build confidence. A child who successfully opens their lunch, finds their classroom, asks a question, or joins a game may think, "I can do this." Those little moments matter because confidence often grows through experience rather than through words alone. Adults can support this process by allowing children to do age-appropriate things independently instead of doing everything for them. It is understandable to want to help, especially when a child seems nervous, but giving them opportunities to try can help them become more capable. Teachers also play an important role because they create a classroom environment where children can learn without being afraid of making mistakes. A supportive teacher can show students that asking questions is okay and that learning takes time. And for children who struggle during the first days, patience is essential. There is no deadline for feeling comfortable. Some children need more encouragement, more repetition, or simply more time. The goal is not to make every child fearless. The goal is to help them understand that feeling nervous does not mean they cannot do something. They can feel scared and still walk into the classroom. They can miss their parents and still have a good day. They can make mistakes and still keep trying. When we look back at the first day of school, it can seem like a small event, but for a child it can be the beginning of many important changes. It is the beginning of new routines, new friendships, new responsibilities, and new opportunities to discover the world. Some children will remember the excitement of their first backpack, the first teacher they met, or the first friend they made. Others may remember feeling nervous or missing home. All of these memories can be part of the same experience. I think one of the most beautiful things about childhood is watching someone slowly become more confident. At first, a child may need a parent to hold their hand all the way to the classroom. Later, they may walk in by themselves and turn around with a big smile. That change can happen little by little through hundreds of ordinary moments. So if you are a parent, teacher, older sibling, or anyone supporting a child who is starting school, remember to be patient. Listen to their feelings, celebrate their small victories, and remind them that they do not have to be perfect. And if you are someone who remembers your own first day of school, maybe take a moment to think about how much you have learned since then. The child who once felt nervous about entering a new classroom eventually learned to face many other new experiences. That is what growing up is about. We do not always know what is waiting for us, but with support, patience, and a little courage, we learn to take the next step. Thank you so much for listening to Sally Lessons, and I will see you in the next episode.